Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sestra-Tainment.
Sestra-Tainment.
I am Lenora.
And I am Dee.
And we are here today to talk to you about the 10 things that stood out to us this week in regards to the world of entertainment when it comes to things like TikTok or Instagram, Facebook, anything social or movies,
anything,
TV.
social media, everything. Just anything entertaining.
Anything entertaining. And so we're going to go ahead and jump right in and get started. And today I have number 10. And my number 10 is Paul Rudd.
The sexiest man alive.
The sexiest man alive. And so, I'm not mad at it. That's what I wanted to say. I am not mad at Paul Rudd being the sexiest man alive. Reason being, well, first of all, he's joining men like Brad Pitt, George Clooney, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Chris Hemsworth, and two of my favorites, which are Idris Elba and Matthew McConaughey.
Okay.
So, I've always been a fan.
All right.
So basically, I'm not mad at it because of the fact that, especially for people who have worked with him, he's never had a bad thing said about him. Everybody says he's a professional, he's a good guy, genuinely nice. He's been married to his wife since 2003. You've never heard anything about Paul Rudd. And although he's not like your typical, sexy man that most people would think of, to me, I think that, he's just ageless. He's ageless. You could literally plop him into Clueless today.
Yeah, and he looks
and nobody would know the difference. Nobody would argue that because he looks amazing for a 52-year-old guy. And so basically, I just wanted to and okay for him to be the sexiest man alive.
Absolutely.
Especially since John Legend was.
No, babyface. It looked was it that his wife had all the babies that looked like him?
John Legend. Yeah, exactly. So, when I think of them picking someone like John Legend, I'm like, okay, this makes a whole lot more sense.
What are the requirements for sexiest man alive? Is it just off of looks?
Don't know. Okay. I think it may be based on popularity of that particular year.
Okay.
And with, I think Paul Rudd, being someone with Ant-Man and
he's funny.
And he's funny, right? So, and women always find that attractive as well. Yeah. And so I just think that, it's just one of those things that, just an all-around nice guy, never a bad thing about him, never heard anything about him with any women or Me Too craziness or anything like that. So I just think that for, the sexiest man alive, he just seems to be an all-around great guy, very entertaining, very funny, nice person that everybody loves. And I haven't heard many people have any issue with it, and I'm one of them. So that was all I had for number 10. Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd. He's a great guy.
Yep.
Okay, so my number 9 is The Harder They Fall.
Oh, The Harder They Fall.
This is the Western that was on Netflix that was dropped, I think it was dropped maybe 2 weeks ago now.
Yes.
So with The Harder They Fall, it is a all-star cast. You have Regina King. Yep. You have Jonathan Majors. You have, Danielle Deadwater, who some of my friends said that I remind her, of her in the movie.
Oh, really?
Lakeith Stanfield. Dion Cole. Oh, my God. He did an amazing... I watched it, and I was like, that's not him.
That is him.
And I was like, no, that is him.
Being more serious. And
I didn't know that he could act like that. Yeah. I was very proud of him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then your favorite man.
Yes.
Idris Elba.
Idris.
But it is a Western. It's about breaking out a criminal from his holding cell on a train. Mm-hmm. Then it goes and there's a lot of twists and turns. And there is a lot of Easter eggs into this that they're playing homage to other places, people, movies, stuff like that. So when you talk to the director, James Seymour, when you talk to him,
he is Seal's brother.
He's Seal's brother.
Right, the singer Seal, it's his brother. Okay, got it.
Well, he says what Google says. So, But when you talk to him and he's going through all the motions about like the little things that he put in there, he talks about how if you look on the train, it has actually Regina King talks about it. If you look on the train, it has C.A. Bozeman on it, and that's paying homage to Chadwick Boseman.
Yep.
They have.
I wonder if he was going to be in the movie if he were still living.
Oh, like, I'm pretty sure he would have been. Like with the cast that they had,
would have been in there. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, like
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, he would have probably been. Sadly to say, Jonathan Majors.
I was thinking that too.
He would have been that Majors. Like it's like Jonathan Majors had to. It's sad to say, but it seems like in order for Jonathan Majors to get where he's at now, Chadwick Boseman had to kind of like step out.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he was making his own way. I just think that maybe people propelled him into different roles.
Because Chadwick Boseman was there.
I know, but I hate to say that.
I mean,
that's he's a really good actor.
But it's true though. I mean, there's a lot of actors that have that. It's like, oh man, I can be the next such and such. So like Jonathan Majors is the next Chadwick Boseman.
See, I don't even see him there. I don't see him there. No. I think he's a very good actor. I think he even went to Yale or something like that.
It was Yale or Harvard or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but I just don't know if I see him at that same caliber yet. Maybe I should just say
that's what I said. He's going to be the next.
Maybe
he's the next.
Okay.
Yeah. I can definitely see that happening. But anyway, they have it's just a lot of Easter eggs. Everybody, please go out and watch it. It is a great movie. A lot of twists and turns. Oh, it's a lot of like the ending just blows your mind. I swear, like just blows your mind. So I'm not going to spoil anything, but definitely go and watch it. It is two groups. It's two different gangs that are against each other.
Yes.
Idris Elba's group and then Jonathan Majors group.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool how they have like the gang war thing in it.
Right.
And
they're like just black cowboy rebel kind of out there doing things, robbing banks, doing different things, but also
robbing banks, and then somebody robs the person who robs the bank.
Right. And then it left with, if I'm remembering correctly, a little bit of a potential for it to be another movie.
Yes, there is. The very end, the very last clip.
Very end.
Absolutely. Yeah, but see, to me, I don't think so because I think that it could, but I mean, I also so people were asking what's up with that last scene. I automatically know what that last scene was about.
Oh,
just from watching it, I was like, oh, got it, done.
But you can't give it away because
I'm not gonna give it away. Yeah, because it's gonna spoil the whole entire movie. And
then you tell me what you think after we're done.
Yeah, after we're done, then we'll go ahead and go there. But yeah, that's what I have. Number 9, The Harder They Fall.
The Harder They Fall. All right, great. Now it was a good movie. I did kind of put it on at a time where I was a little sleepy, so I did fall asleep on it. But then went back and watched from where I fell asleep till the end, and it was good. Yeah, it really was. So yeah, I do think that it is good to see black actors doing their thing and being pulled into a different type of genre than we typically would see.
The last black western that we had was Rosewood, right?
I mean, potentially, yeah.
Yeah, that was it. And that was what was it? Peoples. What's his name? Mario Van Peebles was the lead. Then what is he even doing now? You know what I'm saying? These
Mario Van Peebles is actually on.
Oh God, Dancing with the Stars.
No. I just ended up watching an episode of A Million Little Things, and he is playing a father on there. Believe it or not.
Okay.
Mario
Well,
Van
I did know that he was
Peebles,
doing a lot of directing and writing and stuff like that.
Yep.
But as far as acting,
on that episode,
that was probably the last movie he acted in 1992.
It's possible. It's possible.
Yeah.
All right.
So what you got for number 8?
Number 9. So number 8, I have Dexter New Blood.
Ooh, the new Dexter.
Dexter New Blood. And, I won't spoil the first series for anyone who maybe didn't watch
I never
Dexter.
finished it.
So I won't spoil anything there. But I think anybody who knows anything about a show like Dexter is that he kills people. That's kind of the whole thing. And that's why it even has New Blood in the new title. A lot of people didn't like the way that the ending was for the first kind of series. But this one, let me go back and say for the first one, for anyone who may want to watch it, may want to binge it, especially because it went a number of seasons. It was a great show. It was gory. It was gruesome. There's a lot of blood in there because he's a murderer. It's very suspenseful. He is a forensic scientist. So therefore he is checking blood blood splatter and doing different things with that can make it so that he can kind of cover up his own tracks in the real show, for the first one at least. And so it really has a lot of twists and turns, and it's really good. And so for this particular show, I will say that for the most part, what he is doing is I guess it takes place about 10 years after the first show ends, and he is in a newer town, I guess like 2 years into this newer town. So we don't really know enough about where he was before that, but he's in Alaska, and basically he is working at this kind of like, I don't know, a very mom and pop kind of like Bass Pro Shop, like an outdoorsman kind of shop. And so it's a lot of guns and knives and, you know, bow and arrows and different things like that he's selling, which for me, being someone who watched the original show, I'm like, oh my gosh, you automatically think he's going to be using some of this stuff.
That's his winter wonderland.
To torture and kill people. But basically, you know, he meets some really interesting characters and some jerks, you know, who are in the town, or people who want to buy like semi-automatic rifles to kill a deer, you know, and you're like, is that really sport? Is that really what you should be doing? And is it fair? And then he is actually dating the chief of police. Who is
that makes it even better.
Exactly. So you know that, you know, you can kind of see how it's going to all fold. So therefore he is dating the chief of police, dealing with some demons, let's say, and voices that are talking to him about what he should or shouldn't be doing and how he should be on the straight and narrow. And he's, you know, trying his best. But then there's some things that are just, you know, talking to him about you can't get close to people. You know, people die around you. You know, these things happen. So
he's still talking to himself. Like you still hear his monologue,
you hear his
narration.
Monologue. But you know what's so funny? When I first started watching it, because I was so used to the first season and hearing his internal monologue, that I was like, where is it? Where is it? I'm waiting for it. I was waiting for it. And then finally, it's like, oh, there it is. Like Dexter's back. Because
you were anxious about it.
You
were waiting for it. Yeah.
Right. So non-Dexter, that he was finally back. And of course, he doesn't go by Dexter or anything like that. He's kind of a wanted man, if I'm remembering correctly, of how the last season ended. So, but yeah, so he's basically, you know, not wanting to kill anybody, but I mean, the show's Dexter New Blood, so he has to kill somebody. So he does. And this is kind of very early on in the show. But basically, the whole series, from what I can tell, and it's only a couple of episodes in, but he's basically trying to, you know, be normal with his girlfriend cop. And by the way, her whole work team is on his property trying to find a missing person that Dexter killed. And they're there because of the fact that they know the person went hunting in the woods. Dexter lives on the outskirts of the woods. So therefore, she's going to his house, and all the cops come like, this is the last place that he was kind of seen in this vicinity. Yeah. So therefore, can we set up shop here on your property to look for this guy? Now, mind you,
they know nothing of his past.
They know nothing of his past.
He's not a serial killer. He's dating.
He's a sweet guy who works at the bass shop. You know? Yeah, exactly.
No wonder he knew exactly what rope I need to get, you know?
Exactly. Yep. So so basically you can just foresee that there's going to be a lot of twists and turns in regards to him trying to appease what's going on with his girlfriend. And she's a really good, he said it figures I would date a really good chief of police. Like he was hoping that she would be a little like, you know, old school. Like he was so used to being in like a major city that he was thinking that, this hick town in Alaska, like they're not going to be that
like
good.
Really by the book.
But she's so good at her job. And so therefore he's like, okay, I got to stay a step ahead of everybody. And so, you know, it's just typical Dexter. I mean, I think I'm really going to like it. You know, he's kind of the same as he was before, you know, for all these years, but it's very intriguing. He'd been on the straight and narrow, and now he's gotten that taste, and it's just, is he going to continue to go forward with this and continue to kill other people, or is it just the whole season about one person?
Who is his girlfriend?
I don't recall her name on the show. It is...
Is it somebody who's like a lead actress has been on some stuff?
I think it's the Julia Jones. I can't recall what her name was. I didn't look that up.
Okay.
Yeah, but she is playing Native American because it's Alaska, so a Native American. And I do love the fact that this season does have more of a twist in regards to the native land and the sacredness of that. For example, the person that Dexter takes out, which again, this happens very early on. He actually killed a deer, a white deer of all things, which is very sacred to the Native Americans, but he killed it on their sacred land as well. Yeah. So it's like this other like underlying tone to the show as well. And so to me, I just feel like it's really good. Number one, just to see the Native American actors acting, but also just how, just the education for everybody about these types of things
that people don't know,
that people aren't aware of, and then knowing that this jerk, who Dexter just knew was a jerk from the beginning when he wanted to buy that semi-automatic rifle, would not even care. Like, it would not even, so it kind of, again, helps him justify why he's doing what he's doing, so to speak.
When does this come on?
I think it's on Sundays. Yep, Sunday night.
And this is a mini series, so it's not. It's just going to be like. Do you think it's just going to be the one season?
I think it probably will be, depending on how popular it is. Okay. So if there is a need and a thirst, as we would say, with the blood, a thirst for it, then probably they will continue it on. But I think they just didn't know how it would land, so therefore they wanted to give it a try and see where it goes from there.
Got it.
But yep. So that is my
number 8.
Dexter New Blood. All right. So number 7.
So my number 7, I had this written down before.
Okay.
Then I had to go back and change up some stuff.
Okay.
Mine's is about, at first it was just going to be about, we were going to go ahead and figure out we were going to sit here and talk about what I wanted to do. Sit here and talk about the Kyle Rittenhouse trial and what you thought was going to end up happening.
Oh, okay.
So that's what at first I was going to do.
Okay.
Then I changed it.
Okay.
So I changed it to the judge.
The Kyle
Rittenhouse trial judge. Usually when we do this, I write down like a little half-page of notes about each thing. I have a full page and a half.
Okay, so you're ready.
This. Okay, so the judge name. So it was if people don't know, it was Kyle Rittenhouse. His mother. He was 17 years old. His mother drove him across state lines with an AR-15 or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
AK-47, something like that. Mm-hmm. And drove him across state lines so he could go to where the protesters were, and he's supposed to be helping protect people's property.
Yes,
that's what that's what it's about, because once he got there, he ended up killing 2 people and then beating one man with a skateboard, I believe.
He ended up hurting another person, injuring one person who did testify.
Yes. So this is happening in Wisconsin in Kenosha.
Yeah.
So the name of the judge is Judge Bruce Schroeder. Okay. There's so many bullets and tins that I have, like little bullets that I have to go down on this. Okay. So one thing that happened while the prosecutor was talking, the judge's cell phone goes off. What is the song that is on his ringtone?
What is it?
Apparently, it's the song that Trump used for his opening for, when Trump was trying to get all these different artists to go ahead and
agree
be able to play his music.
Then nobody would agree.
So apparently, it was this one guy, some I don't know, something "God Bless America" or something like that. I can't remember what the name of the song is, but that was the song that was playing.
Okay.
From his ringtone. Okay. Good old boys. Got it. See it. Mm-hmm. Then it was dismissed. So he dismissed the weapon charge because in the state of Wisconsin is an open carry state. Right? Minors cannot purchase guns. They're not supposed to be toting them.
Okay.
In Wisconsin, right? So,
but it's open carry, but he's a minor, so that should have been illegal itself.
So this is what it says. It says the law does not say that a minor cannot carry in certain circumstances. So, with it being said that it was self-defense, that is a certain circumstance where he could be able to be a minor and carry the gun.
Right, but you go across state lines with a gun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you go
not
looking
intent,
for trouble.
It's not intent, right?
Right.
So
you're not
now,
protecting your own property.
So now the weapons charge is thrown out. That cannot be brought up in a murder case where you shot somebody.
Had a weapon. Right. Exactly.
So that ends up siding with the defense.
Okay.
The judge is like, no. Mm-hmm. The judge yells at the prosecutor.
Yep.
John Binger, whatever. and would not let him speak. He would like yelled at him and screamed at him and would not let him speak, and like kept like and
he berated him.
Yeah,
pretty much
interrupting him. And then I don't know. Okay, then the judge says to the defense lawyer jokingly, I think might have been after the trial, I couldn't remember for sure. But he says to him jokingly, yeah, you could have gotten away with murder because I forgot. Like, what? Did you just tell the defense lawyer about something else? You're talking about something else, but you use the terms.
Gotten away with
murder. You could have gotten away with murder. Yeah, that's what basically happened. Anyway, so that was just, that just kind of blew my mind. Like, why are you even joking with the lawyers,
right, about something like that when people have died?
But not even that. Why are you a judge joking with a lawyer? Like,
well, but see, the thing is,
it's a trial. You have to be. You're
supposed to be impartial. But I think that the thing people don't also realize is that it's a courthouse. Judges, no prosecutors, they know defense attorneys, they know, like, they are people they know. Yeah. So therefore, I'm sure he was just like, oh, that's Bob. Yeah, I'm just going to joke with Bob. Like, he's my boy. Like, I just know him. But, then, like, you're not supposed to be you can't do like that.
That's like fraternizing. You can't do that.
Right, exactly.
All right. Then he refuses to have the people that were killed and hurt by Rittenhouse, like the he called victims. He said victims is let me say, I can't remember exactly what he said, but something like a certain term. It was like harsh statement. He said, but we can call them looters, arsonists, and rioters.
Right. Because they are, the way that I saw this from the beginning, as soon as I had heard that the judge berated the prosecutor, was that he felt that these people who were out here protesting were those things. Yeah. I didn't even know he had said that, but that he thought, okay, they're looters. Yeah. They're out here doing egregious acts that are illegal. And this young man took matters in his own hands because the police couldn't. And he did what this judge felt was the right thing, which was, look, by hook or crook, you can do whatever you want to do because these people are already breaking the law in his mind, in the judge's mind.
I have a question about this. So, jurors and lawyers are not like if it's something that is what is it? They have to be like they can't, if it's something that like has like something that's personal to them.
They recuse themselves. They recuse themselves.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Do they do that with judges too?
They should. Yes. If they are in any way at least that's what I feel understood, like
that was not what happened.
But I'm sure, didn't feel like he was closely involved with the case that he would need to recuse himself. I think it was more like, oh, I have my opinions. But, I mean, you never know what unconscious bias or conscious, for that matter, different judges have as to why they do what they do. So I was not surprised by the jury at all. I mean, by the verdict. I knew already what it was going to be from.
The judge even said, oh, if we keep this up, I'm going to make it a mistrial.
They wanted it to be a mistrial. And they had said that if it was a mistrial, that he would not be able to be tried again. Yeah. Like they were.
That's what, again, the judge said that. So then I was like, automatically, I was like, oh, he's getting off.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
All right. So another thing is, what Judge Schroeder does, he kept telling the jury that they had to like leave.
Yeah, so he could talk to them separately, privately.
Yeah, but like so he could talk to everybody else, I think that is the time when he's yelling at the prosecutor and stuff like that. But it's like every time, like he made the jurors clap for, on Veterans Day, clap for the, like, Rittenhouse's witness.
Okay.
So the guy who's on Rittenhouse side.
When his witness goes up there, he's like, juror, clap?
No. Oh. The guy was sitting there, he was like, oh yeah, it's Veterans Day, and he looked straight at him. You have how many, like, people in there that I'm pretty sure are veterans? And he looks straight at that guy. He was like, hey, like, what branch were you in? Military, Army? Okay, yeah. Looks at the jury and says, guys, not the entire courtroom. Looks at the jurors. I think he deserves a clap. I think he deserves a clap for that. It's Veterans Day. What?
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
Oh, what? Yeah, oh my God. The thing is that because it was actually on television. I think because it was broadcast. I think that's what is why so many people can get into it. So that was one thing. He refers to St. Paul in the Bible when he was talking to the jury about hearsay. Okay, I didn't know that you can like even mention the Bible. I thought it was like a separation of church and state. Like I thought you couldn't like bring in your own personal religions into stuff like that. But I mean, hey, I don't know. This is he was seen flipping through a cookie book, like a cookie catalog.
During the trial?
During the trial.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because he already knew how it was going to end.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and am I correct in saying that there was no diversity on the trial in regards to any minorities?
That's another one I'm about to get to. Yeah. That's so funny. That's the next thing.
Yeah.
He uses the phrase, the only black, when he's talking about the jurors. His statement is literally, they're like, we had like 14 jurors. And when we pulled it out, there was a black, the only black. And like, I'm just thinking to myself, what is happening here? Like, I don't get it. Like, this is on
you
TV.
Can't even get your words out.
This is on TV. This is not like some trial that was just had and then we just find out all this stuff.
Right.
This is national television and you were just being like, yeah, I'm just going to say what I want to say and I'm the judge. And then he's probably going to get so many more like, yeah. And then he asked, listen to this. He asked Rittenhouse, do you want me to play a song? And Rittenhouse looks at him and smiling and shakes his head. And then he starts singing a song to Rittenhouse. And then the defense lawyers sitting there, hitting this little jig.
And they're dancing.
This is during a trial for murder. I'm sorry.
A murder trial.
That was loud. I'm sorry. Jesus, like, what?
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't even, I was just wanting to talk about the judge.
The judge.
The judge.
Okay.
And not
it makes you wonder if there will be any analysis, law school.
Well, there are protests going on right
theories.
now. I do know the protests.
Well, I knew that would happen as soon as I knew. I mean, long before I knew.
I knew there was going to be protests. Like as soon as they said that he was going to trial, in the pre-trial, the judge was trying to throw out the weapons charge.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I just mean like from the judge's from the perspective of analyzing the judge and what not to do. Like, are there going to be law school courses of look what this judge did and maybe what not to do if you are a judge to play music for the defense?
No, he didn't play music. He said, would you like to hear a song?
Yeah, if you would like to hear a song.
And then sung to him.
Right. But I mean, would that have happened if this person was a minority? Would this have happened if the person was a woman? Would this have happened if it was anyone other than a young, white, 17-year-old boy who had a gun and shouldn't have?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. And typically what happens, just like with rape charges and other things, it's, he's too young. Oh, he has his whole life ahead of him. He can still go to college.
There are different laws. Like, there are laws that talk about taking weapons across state lines.
Yeah, you can't even take alcohol across state lines.
You can't take cigarettes across state lines.
Exactly.
It's trafficking, yeah? So, I mean, it's...
And then what about his mother? Like, does she have no charges against her whatsoever for taking your son into the fray, knowing that you could potentially be putting his life at risk?
I think all of that was, like, everything about him having a weapon and crossing state lines, I think that was all dismissed from the trial.
Right, but I mean...
But it wasn't brought up. It was just like, as soon as you bring it up, jury, you're excused. Yeah, I'm telling you, blah, blah, blah.
You can't bring that up because of the fact that the gun is out of, the mix. So, it was a very, it felt like a kangaroo court, honestly. It felt like it was not...
I've never heard of kangaroo court.
You haven't heard of kangaroo court before? Well, look it up. It's a thing.
I'll Google it.
But but no, I just feel like it just wasn't a true legal process. Yes. That's the easiest way to say it. Like, it just felt like the decision was already made before it was made. And I know they talked to the head of the local NAACP here even, and we're not anywhere near Wisconsin, but, and they basically said that, people are not surprised. Like, people are disappointed, but not surprised. Yeah. Like, people just assumed that when you saw this young man on TV that you're like, yeah, he's going to get away with it. He's going to get away with it. So, it's unfortunate, but...
I mean, the police chief, they, like, apparently all on the news, like, all over the country, like, MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, they were all talking about how they were starting to board up buildings around there because of the trial, while the trial was going on. That's what was saying. The police chief was like, no, I think a lot of people already knew what the outcome of the trial was going to be. The places, he said, it's a Dunkin' Donuts that's closed, that is boarded up. He said, and then there's another place that's closed, that's boarded up. He said, but they do this every year. So he said, but other than that, there's no places that are boarded up because they think of rioters are going to come out. I was like, no. I think they understood.
They knew. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Yeah. I mean, regardless, with this particular trial, I will say regardless, half of the country was going to be upset. Because half of the people felt like he was absolutely justified and warranted to go out there and do what was quote-unquote right and protect local businesses. And, hey, if a looter gets shot in the process, so be it. And then you have other people who are saying, you know what? Why did you go across state lines with a weapon as a minor to look for trouble, basically? Yeah, exactly. Because that is how it also looks. So it wasn't going to be any answer to this that everybody was going to agree with. So, but yeah.
But that's what I had. That was my number 7.
Number 7. You're very passionate about that. I hope you don't blow anybody's ears out.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to yell. I'm sorry, guys. I got excited. But yeah, just the judge. That's the thing. Yeah.
Great. Well, my next one actually will be a little short.
What's your number 6?
Is number 6. TikTok on Amazon Fire Stick.
What?
Yeah, I happened to be looking at my apps on Amazon Fire Stick, and I don't know when it dropped or when it showed up, but lo and behold, TikTok is on there, and you don't have to have an account or anything for TikTok. It just randomly scrolls through various TikToks that,
like the most popular ones.
A lot of popular ones. A lot of them have 10 million views, 12 million views, things like that. But yeah, I saw everything from, I saw Chris Hemsworth was on one of them. Tia Mowry was on one of them. Then I saw everything from dogs and chickens and pigs and, little babies and, cats. And, I mean, it's kind of a little bit of everything, but I tell you, it was a rabbit hole because I started watching one and then the next one came up and then the next one. It was like YouTube where it doesn't like pause. It just keeps going to the next one.
And then 3 hours later.
Exactly. And it was like bears. And then it was, like one of the bears, he was like motioning like, come here, throw it here. I want some food over here, And then another bear was like grabbing the food and all this kind of stuff. And then it was a mother taking her child inside like a Walmart and throwing her baby into a thing of pillows, but not realizing that the baby was going to sink
down the bottom with all those pillows.
And then she like freaks out and is like digging through the pillows to get her little baby out. There was a little pig named Wilbur, funny enough, from Charlotte's Web, who was going around on a farm and helping the mom on the farm like wake up everybody. So it's like, okay, Wilbur, let's go wake up such and such. So it's like, who do you want to wake up first? So of course he wanted to wake up the biggest pig. So he goes to the biggest pig, and then the biggest pig was laying there like, dude, you're too young, you're too energetic, I'm not interested. So he goes behind that pig and pushes him out of his little house, like, come on, get out. And the mom, the farm was such that everybody had their own little
their own little spot,
farms, like little barns or whatever. So she was like, okay, well, let's go wake up the other 2. And then it's like 2 goats and then 2 more goats staying together. And then this one big goat named Loki that I thought was kind of hilarious. And so, wakes up Loki and then goes and wakes up all the ducks and the chickens and whatever. And then the pig's like standing there while the chickens are trying to come out. So the chickens have to fly around the pig. And anyway, it was just really cute. So I just got into the rabbit hole of all of that. And then lo and behold, I was like, oh, that's right. I wanted to talk about TikTok being on Amazon Fire Stick. Let me go back in there and just see the kind of videos that they offer. And guess what?
You're right back down that rabbit hole.
I went right back down the rabbit hole again. 30 minutes later, I'm like, okay, I got to cut this off because the roll just kept going and kept going.
Because when you're on your phone, you have to use your finger to scroll up. This is doing it for you. This is doing it for you.
And it was even little random things like this one family, they had everybody sit at one end of the table. And they had dollar bills going all the way down the table, right?
Oh, with the cups?
And no cups. They had candles.
Oh, candles.
So if you how far you blow out the candle is how many of those dollars you get. Like whoever blows the furthest of the candles, then that's who gets all the money. They were like little tea light candles or whatever. And so if you blew all the way, which one person blew pretty much all the way to the end, so he got all the money, and that was like their game or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, people are so creative. So anyway, that's all I had really was that TikTok. It's on Amazon Fire Stick. I know a lot of people don't really get into the social media and don't really know much about certain things, and like Facebook and all these other things you kind of have to sign up for. But with this, if you have a Fire Stick, you can start watching TikToks and, kind of see what all the fuss is about in regards to that. And so, and we were just talking about today, maybe we'll set up our own Sestra-Tainment TikTok account and figure out some fun things to put on there, but more to come if that does happen. But that was my number 6, TikTok on Amazon Fire Stick. Easy breezy.
Easy breezy. All right, so my number 5 is another Netflix movie. This one is called Midnight Mass.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody's really heard about this. I know a lot of people might have been into it. The director, apparently, he does like Bly Manor movies and stuff like that. So he's into those kind of like horror movie type movies.
Got it.
So I will tell you this. I can't say if it's good and I can't say it's bad because it's strange. It's weird. It's like, but I want to watch it, but then I'm kind of like, I don't want to watch it, but then it's like, but no, I want to know what happens, It's like one of those movies, just like, why am I watching this? And then you want to turn it off, and you're just like, but wait, I got to see what happens.
Yeah, let me see how it ends up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not putting any spoilers out there, but it's basically about Catholic vampires.
Okay.
And the Monsignor, like dealing with vampire and everything. So it's a lot of very weird stuff in it. Like I said, I can't tell if it's good or not. It's just weird. It starts with this young guy. He's like in his early 30s. He's being arrested for drunk driving, and as he's being arrested, the girl that he ends up hurting while he's drunk driving is directly in front of him. Like he's sitting on the curb with like his hands like
behind him, like in cuffs.
And he's like asking the officers, he's like, is she gonna be okay? And they're like working on her. And like she's like directly in front of him, like a car length away. And then you see them stop, and then her head like turns over towards him. Clearly, you can tell she is gone.
No,
she has glass all in her face, and I will tell you this: the director did really fantastic with this, with the glass being in her face, the reflection of the lights.
We're in the face of the glass.
We're in the glass. Oh my God, it was so good because then later on, this same guy ends up thinking later on, and he sees this girl standing in the corner, and she has the glass in her face,
and the reflection,
and you can see. Oh my God, I was like, that is really good. But it does have like that weirdness where you can be like, hey, can I use your leaf blower? And then the person will be like, I remember the first time that I ever used a leaf blower. I was 8 years old, and blah 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 blah. And they go into like this deep like whole dialogue, like just for themselves, and monologue just for themselves. So it is like that weird like that. But this guy ends up going to jail. Okay. Once he gets out, he goes back to his little it's kind of like it's a weird town. I think I kind of think Crucible, like Blair Witch. But like not Blair Witch, but Salem Witch Trials type thing.
Okay.
Because I don't know where it's at, but I want to say it's like Boston or like it's somewhere where it's a pier. Everybody lives in this little small area.
Like Salem, Massachusetts.
Yeah, or maybe you know how Ireland, when you look at it, it's always very like wet. Dense, foggy, always has this overcast. That's what it looks like.
Oh, okay.
So, it's like that. So he goes back to this little town, And when he goes back, it's just about him getting back into this church and like trying to like figure out what he's doing with his life. He's like living with his parents and all this other stuff, and he goes and he sees this this priest who's at his family church, and he's just like, this is a young guy, like I don't really know him like that. And the young guy ends up knowing everything about him, this new priest who comes and knows everything about him, and then that new priest brings all the crazy weirdness in. It's insane. It's really good.
And those are
but
the
it's
vampires?
really it's good and bad. I can't explain it. I don't know where to put it.
Is it the writing or the acting that's not up to par?
It's not that it's not up to par. It's like it's just
too
weird.
It's so weird you can't really recommend it.
Yeah, it's like it's not Clockwork Orange weird.
I never watched that.
Okay, so it's not like that.
I don't even think I've ever heard of that.
Clockwork Orange? Oh, yeah. We'll have to do that one day.
Okay.
But it is on that like Shining type weird, something like that. But it's good.
Okay. If you like something that's different, weird, quirky, outside of the norm.
It's like, it's the what makes it weird is because everything that you ever watch about church is about church.
Okay.
And then everything that you ever watch about vampires is about vampires. And then the church and vampires are usually like, the cross kills the vampire. Mm-hmm. Like you put the cross on the vampire's hand, the vampire it
hurts. Yeah.
This is combining
gotcha.
like those two worlds.
That doesn't really affect me. Because,
Yeah.
Got it.
So,
okay.
Yeah, so that's what I have for mine, number 5.
Number 5.
Midnight Mass.
Midnight Mass. All
so
right.
what do you got for number 4?
Number 4, I have a new... Well, first of all, I'm going to talk about 90 Day Fiancés later. But there's a newer one that just started this past weekend.
So it's like a new season?
It's a new season, and it's a spin-off almost called Love in Paradise. So it's people who are meeting people overseas and falling in love and what that looks like, whether they get married or not. Just like, what is that? So basically, it is something that I've been watching personally in regards to 90 Day Fiancé for like 3 or 4 years. Like, it's been great, and it's probably 8 or 9 or 10 years that they've had seasons, but I just kind of started a little bit later. But it never disappoints me. Like, every single season, I just watch the first episode and I'm sucked in. So I'm going to tell y'all how crazy... Only one episode, and I'm going to try to go through this quickly. But basically, you're following 4 couples, right? Okay. The couples meet in different places: Costa Rica, Barbados, Panama, and the Bahamas, right? Mm-hmm. So you see the issues a mile away of what's going to go wrong with these couples on episode 1. But I'm going to share these situations.
But Love is Blind, though. Love is Blind.
Okay. Let me share these situations so that you can see what all is going on. So, one couple. The girl meets a guy. They hook up. She finds out a month after she gets home she's pregnant with his baby.
Oh, wow.
And he works at a swingers resort.
Whoa.
So now she's going back with her mom so that her mom and sisters can meet this guy that she slept with while on vacation.
At the swingers resort.
Without protection. And she
was at the swingers resort.
No,
she wasn't. She just
met him,
and that's where he works.
And that's where he works. So the likelihood that he is hooked up with various people at the swingers resort is probably known. But I digress. So supposedly he's excited that she's having a baby, but he's also like, we're tied together forever. And when I say forever, like forever, ever, like that kind of thing. So couple number 2, girl meets guy at a party in Barbados while twerking.
While twerking.
He's a local DJ that women around town throw themselves at on a consistent basis. And she lives in Florida. So, on her own dime, she consistently goes to see him in Barbados. And while she's out with him, women still flirt with him while they're, right in front of her. So she's like, if this is happening in front of me, then what happens when I'm not here, basically?
Is he flirting back?
Well, he's already cheated on her once.
Oh, okay. Oh.
So now she's going back to tell him, look, it needs to be a ring or we need to call this over, and we've been together for 3 years. That's couple number 2.
Okay.
Couple number 3. Guy meets girl, and she is a drug addict.
Wow.
He didn't know it at the time that he met her. So as he's home, he gets information from her that she's a drug addict and she's in rehab. So he goes back to be with her while she's in rehab and to help her through the process. Okay. She gets out. Things fall apart, though. And they break up.
Okay.
About 8 years later, he decides he wants to give it another try.
Yeah. 8 years.
So he decides to go back to shoot his shot with her, but she's dating other people, and he doesn't know it yet, but he'll find out when he gets back to the island. And he wants her to move to California or the relationship is over. Couple number 4. Sorry, question. It's a lot of questions. But couple number 4.
The amount of questions in my mind right now.
Exactly. Okay. But we don't have time to get into all this. I'm just trying to pique the curiosity and to show people why I love 90 Day Fiancé shows so much. So, couple number 4.
A separate podcast about us talking about the podcast.
Exactly. So, a girl meets a guy while on vacation with friends. They hook up. And on her second trip to go back to see him, he proposes and they get engaged. So she is now trying to pay about $10,000 for a K-1 visa for him to come to the United States and live with her. However, she is doing all the work and he isn't doing anything. No. So she's getting ready to go back to his place. I think it's Costa Rica for him. I can't recall. Okay. But she's getting ready to head back and she's talking to him through Skype, hey, you got your documentation together, you got everything. No, babe, haven't worked on that yet. No, I haven't pulled it together. So she's like, look, I'm not your mother.
She's still doing it.
She's still going to fly out there and meet him. So the end of the episode was her flying, meeting him.
So all of these people in the show are colorblind because they do not see any of these red flags.
They do not see any red flags at all. And then there's the whole layer of COVID playing a part in this as well, where some of these couples have been doing so much virtually over the past, year or so. Some of them it's just been a few months. Others it's been a little bit longer that they hadn't seen each other. So could be a horny factor in there too. I don't know. That kind of clouds people's visions. I'm not sure. But long story short, it's the first episode. And these are all the crazy things that have happened. So I don't know where it's going to go, but I'm here for the ride. I'm going to watch it all, and I love it. And that is 90 Day Fiancé, my number 4.
The Love in Paradise.
The Love in Paradise. I'm sorry, right. Love in Paradise spinoff of 90 Day Fiancé.
You know, it's so weird that you were so into these, engagement and, marriage shows, and you're just like,
you don't really need to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things. Yeah, but it's not even about that. It's about the human dynamic of it all. That's what is so intriguing to me. And me being a psychology major, it's like, how do people not see this? How do people not realize the reality of what they're living in? As opposed to, but love should not make you so stupid, I guess is what I'm thinking. Yeah. It's like, you should be like, yes, I'm in love, but you also sometimes realize that there are people who are not good for you. And you have to say, okay, my heart is here, but my head has to tell me something different. You know what I mean? It's like they don't always go together, and that to me has always been my reality.
There's everybody in the world is the opposite.
But everybody is not
everybody, and you are the top 3% that are actual people who are just like, you know what? Hey, what? You're making me kind of anxious, and I don't like really being with you. I'm out.
Yeah, I mean,
there are other people who are like, I'm anxious and I don't like being with you, and we're gonna work this out.
We're gonna work it out
till the end of our lives.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm more of a realist. Of look, I'm with it until it's not working anymore, and when it's not working, it's not working. But I'm not gonna, not give it a try, and that's why I think all my relationships have been so long. But that's a whole other conversation for another day. But the shortest one was 7 years. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, exactly.
So therefore, it's like, I'm in it for the long haul. But when it's not working, it's not working, and the reality of that is the reality of that, and I'm not going to make myself miserable for years dealing with that. So, but this human dynamic piece, love it. But we've got 10 minutes to get through our next one, so let's go ahead and get with number
3. Number 3 that I have is my favorite all-time movie, Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder is my all-time favorite movie. It's a movie that was made in I want to say maybe 2005 or something like that. I don't know, 2000. I don't know. I can't remember when it was made. But the movie made then cannot be made now because it is not politically correct at all whatsoever. No. You have RDJ, Robert Downey Jr.
Yes.
who's playing a black man. Black face, black body. He has painted himself. But I think that the only reason that he could get away with it, first of all, is because in the movie, he is a actor who is a method actor. He said that he goes into everything. He said he doesn't break character until the DVD commentary.
Right.
Right. So,
it's like Daniel Day-Lewis being Lincoln, and while he was here filming, he literally was going everywhere to eat dressed as Lincoln.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So he's like that, but he's also supposed to be like Australian. So now he's an Australian actor who is acting like a black man. So you see the progress of this actual actor going through what they call the pigmentation process, where they go ahead and they dye his skin brown, and then as soon as they do that, he automatically turns into this old black man.
Okay,
like,
he's the dude.
He's a dude playing a dude described as another dude.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? He's that dude. The cast is amazing. Jack Black's in it. Ben Stiller's in it. Brandon T. Jackson. You have Nick Nolte in it.
Yeah.
Nick Nolte. Like, when I saw the movie, I was like, oh my God, wait, is that Nick Nolte?
Yeah.
Like, how did that come in there?
Yeah.
And then you have the guest star of Tom Cruise.
I was going to say, is that the one that Tom Cruise just showed up in
Tom
randomly?
Cruise is, he is the I think he's like an agent or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it definitely could not be made now. But it is a funny movie. It is about them. It's about all these guys being part of a movie that ends up being the worst movie ever made about a Vietnam movie. About Vietnam War.
It's a Vietnam War movie that is the worst movie ever made.
Yes. Yeah. And they actually have that written in the movie. And that's how they end up getting, I guess, like, what is it, an Oscar? What do you get?
An Academy Award. An Oscar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like the worst movie ever made about a movie. Yeah, it was like,
that was the character, the category.
That was the category.
Like a Razzie. That's what they call it now, Razzie.
I mean, it is, and then what's so funny is that Ben Stiller, actually, when he wins his award, he does like a joke about Tom Cruise. Remember Tom Cruise and what's her name, Katie
Holmes.
Katie Holmes. Remember when he was like jumping on Oprah's couch and everything and jumping all around. Ben Stiller does that after he gets the award. So funny, especially because Tom Cruise is in the movie. But I will definitely say this: it is an older movie, but it is hilarious. It is so funny. Tropic Thunder is my number 3.
Number 3, and I know you love it, and you can recite so many lines from it.
Yeah, we don't Dee Mao, we Dee now.
All right, so my number 2, I have Queens. So Queens is the movie that has Brandy.
Oh, it's a movie? I thought it was a TV show.
I'm sorry, TV show, TV series. Sorry, I'm saying it wrong. Brandy, Eve, Notori Naughton, who is from Power, and Nadine Velasquez, who is from, the only thing I could think of her from is My Name is Earl. She was on that. And so basically, it's about a 90s group called the Nasty Bitches. And basically, life happens. They're no longer famous. They're just living their normal lives for the most part. You have it where Brandy was a explicit lyrics was her name. Okay. And now she is, she was like the lyricist of the group, and she's now mom. And, you know, she actually in the 90s had an affair with their manager. Then you have where Eve, her name was Professor Sex in the group in the 90s. She's a mom of 5 now.
She's married. Her name was Professor Sex.
Yeah, she's married and her husband is having an affair. So you have Notori, who is called Jill the Thrill. Okay. And she now is a Christian wife who actually is a secret lesbian. Okay. And then you have Nadine, who actually was Buttercream, I think was her name, or Butter Pecan. That's what it was, Butter Pecan. She's a TV personality, but recently fired. But she also slept with the manager in the 90s. Okay. So there's a really history between Brandy and her from the jump of them both not being cool about the manager thing, but the manager's still involved with this group. Of course he is. So what happens is he has a new artist that's kind of like a Nicki Minaj that he's bringing into the scene, and he wants to reintroduce everybody to the Nasty Bitches. And so basically
Is this Lil Muffin?
Yep, Lil Muffin. That's her name. And so she's, kind of a cool character. And they even do like little music video shoots and things like that during the show. So it's kind of cool. They even go to like the 90s music videos with the helicopters and the houses blowing up and the cars and, you know, the people at the pool with the bikinis on and all that kind of stuff. So it's funny to kind of watch. The rap actually isn't bad. Like it couldn't be with Eve and all of that.
And I'm singing or anything like that. And Brandy in it.
Notori, she actually played Little Kim. So
and
therefore she, you know, was used to kind of rapping from that perspective. But basically, I can't say it's one of the best shows on TV, but it's definitely a fun show to watch. I've really been enjoying it. It has a lot of funny moments in it, some twists, some turns, some tear-jerking situations, all of that. But I personally think that it's more about like sisterhood than it is about like the infighting that you sometimes see with minority women on TV. So for me personally, I've really been enjoying it. So that's
is it like a comedy or what?
It is a comedy. It's a comedy for the most part that has some serious moments in it.
So this is the Urban Girls 5 Eva.
That is exactly how it feels. Little Girls 5 Eva from Peacock. So
it's like that. That's what's up. That's cool.
Yeah, so it's good. But all right, number one.
Okay, number one, I wanted to talk about this, but then I have to have my little rant about the app. So my number one is Adele's special, One Night Only.
One Night Only, yes.
I watched it on Paramount Plus. Let me have my little rant about Paramount Plus right now. So, watching on Paramount Plus, I'm watching her sing When We Were Young, and then it clips right into like a Metro PCS commercial. I'm like in the middle of the song.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what is going on?
Set that up,
Then, as you start watching it, then, like, after that goes off and then, like, the actual song comes back on, then you're into it. And then it has a spot where it looks like there could be a commercial. No. It just fades to black and then just goes back into the show. And then right when she gets to the microphone, she's like, I want to thank everybody for, boom, another commercial. Yep. I'm like, why? Like, none of the commercials were, like...
synced up.
Oh, like, it could have been so much better. But, just to talk about it, the show was amazing. She did a really great job. I don't know what it is about Adele, but I feel like she's the only artist that if she drops an album, it is like everybody in the world is like, I cannot wait.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like there's a few people that are like that, like Beyonce.
Yeah, but Beyonce will drop albums like Adele.
She'll drop it at midnight and nobody knows about it.
Yeah. But like Adele will drop an album and it would be 6 years that she drops another album, and everybody's like, "Oh my god!" Like you know, it's like Black Friday for music.
Creates a panic.
It's Black Friday for music. That's what she is.
Exactly.
But the show was really good. And in that, it also has clips of her and Oprah talking at Oprah's beautiful garden that she had in the backyard. Oh my god, it looks so beautiful. She goes really deep into her personal stuff and her son and relationships and how hard it was for dating, how she ended up losing all this weight, and how she ended up losing all this weight. Weight was basically like depression and anxiety.
Oh, wow. Yeah. See, I thought that she had some kind of sleep or bypass or something like that. I didn't know that she
said that, like, she said the everything from her divorce, basically. Like, she's like...
she just didn't want to eat, didn't want to...
Yeah, she's like, I didn't want to do anything, but then I had this kid. So, like, I had this, like, whole other human that I had to look after. So then she said what she started doing, she said that she realized that... because she said she had always been working out. She said, but it had been, like, big working out. But she had to be working out in order for her to be able to go to do her performances in different places.
Right.
Yeah, for her, I guess, lung capacity and stuff like that. She said she loves lifting weights. She can deadlift 170 pounds now.
Wow.
She's like really good about that, but she said that she noticed that the only time that she actually wanted to do stuff was when she had to go to like do this stuff like in the gym or go and take a hike or something like that. She said she realized that she loved doing that, so and then she just started making it a point to always have that happen each and every day.
Yeah.
The songs were great. The songs that were in that she had, I can give them to you with order they were. She did Hello, of course. Yeah, opening. Of course you gotta do Hello. And then it was so funny. Oprah was like, "Oh, I see. Okay, so you're gonna open with Hello." She was like, "Yeah, I mean, I want to put that anywhere else. That'd be kind of weird. Just like me singing Rolling in the Deep and then go into Hello." She was like, "If I'm coming down stage, that's how I'm gonna say hello."
Yeah, it's hello.
And I was like, "Oh, that's smart." And then she sings her new song, "Easy on Me," from her new album. She goes into Skyfall. She's I Drink Wine, which is on her new album.
Okay.
Someone Like You, When We Were Young, Make You Feel My Love, Hold On, which is on the new album. Rolling in the Deep, where if you watch the special, everybody is up and dancing. I mean, it's great. And then Love Is a Game, which is on her new album as well. She does have a guy who ends up proposing.
Oh, I did see
so
that.
She sets that all up, and she's standing there. She's like, "Okay, look." She's like, I got something great that I want to do really quick. She was like, and if any of you, she said, if any of you make a noise while they're coming out here, I'll kill you.
Yeah, exactly. Because they had her blindfolded.
Yeah, they had her blindfolded, and they had the noise canceling headphones on. So the man pulls her out. They're in front of the stage. They're at the bottom of the steps of the stage. Pulls her out, takes the headphones off of her. She's like, wait, where are we at? Takes the blind off, and she's looking around, and she's like, who are these people? And then he's like, no, just look at me. So then he proposes to her, and then finally she says yes after she's crying for a while.
And looks up.
Yeah, then Adele comes out of like the darkness and walks up, and the spotlight's now on Adele. And she was like, congratulations. And the girl was like, oh my God, like that's Adele. Yeah. Then she's like, all right, just go ahead and have a seat, and let me go ahead and like sing this song. She was like, I'm so glad that you said yes, because if not, then this would have been weird for when we sing the song. The girl goes to sit down. And she's like, oh my God, it's Lizzo. So now she's like sitting there like holding hands with Lizzo. And then on the other side of her, Melissa McCarthy hands her a champagne glass.
Oh my gosh.
And then she turns around. She's just like, oh my God. Like she's not realizing how many celebrities she is around.
Are there.
Oh my God. Like, I hope that wedding, like that, I hope that marriage works.
Oh yeah.
Because if not, the next man, he got like a lot to like keep up with. Like there is no way possible that he would be able to. No, it was
great. And just knowing how, it was a true surprise.
Yes,
and
true.
Just like, okay, Oprah was at my engagement.
But yeah, what?
Yeah, Lizzo was right there.
Drake.
Yeah,
I had the whole, basically half the cast of Modern Family was there. I mean, it was awesome. It was really great. And I really think that was a great way for her to be able to drop her album. So yeah, definitely everybody go ahead and check out. Paramount Plus has Adele special, One Night Only.
One Night Only. All right, great. Well, those are our top 10 things from this week. Yeah. And we really appreciate you guys coming along with us for the ride. Just know that we do post every Sunday. So please feel free to listen in, to subscribe, to be a part of our Sestra-Tainment world. And we will talk to y'all next go around. Everybody have a wonderful day.
Bye, guys.